first visual radio on air on Topstar Channel 91. Download Sun FM Zambia app and watch live TV. Watch live TV on sunfmzambia.net. Follow us on Twitter at sunfm Zambia. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch live shows and podcasts. Everyone is not just listening. Now everyone is watching.
The news.
Good afternoon and welcome to our Midday News. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Vice President Mtale Nalumango has reaffirmed that the government has no intention of delaying the funeral of or burial of the late 60th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu and is working to ensure he is laid to rest with dignity in Zambia. The government of Zambia has emphasized the urgent need to address the country's growing demand for emotional and mental health support by fully integrating psychosocial services into national child protection frameworks. The Zambia Union for Persons Living with Disabilities has welcomed President Hakainde Hichilema's directive to halt the legislative process on Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7 of 2025, describing it as a significant step towards fostering a more inclusive and preparatory nation dialogue. And in sports, the Zambia Judo Nationals secured 3 bronze medals on day 1 of the 2025 African Judo Open Championships, taking place in Pretoria, South Africa.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
With the details, my name is Mwema Shanshima. Vice President Mtale Nalumango has reaffirmed that the government has no intention of delaying the funeral or burial of the late 60th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu and is working to ensure he is laid to rest with dignity in Zambia. Mrs. Nalumango made the remarks in Parliament during the Vice President's question and answer session following public concern over a legal petition filed by Attorney General Mulilo Kabesha in a South African court. The petition seeks to prevent Mr. Lungu's burial in South Africa, a move that has since suspended the burial process. She explained that the matter was escalated to the courts after the government and the Lungu family failed to reach an agreement on burial arrangements. However, she stressed that government's position remains clear that President Lungu must be buried on the Zambian soil in recognition of his service and stature. Ms. Nalumango said the state is doing everything possible to ensure that the late president is given a dignified and appropriate burial, adding that he was not an ordinary citizen, for he led the nation.
So we are waiting. There is no intention of prolonging the pain of keeping the body. No, not at all. But this is not an ordinary person, unfortunately. That's why I say, because we confuse ourselves, we think the President of the Republic is only President of UPND. No, he is President for all of us. Whether we love him as President indeed for GPD, is the President for whom was I left, even for all of us.
She was responding to a question from Matero Member of Parliament, Maus Sampa, who queried why the government appeared to be prolonging the funeral process. The government of Zambia has emphasized the urgent need to address the country's growing demand for emotional and mental health support by fully integrating psychosocial services into national child protection frameworks. Speaking at the closing of the 11th International Consultation of Child Helplines in Livingstone, Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Doreen Mwamba, stated that modern child protection requires more than emergency interventions, urging long-term investments in mental health care, skilled responders, and inclusive support systems. Ms. Mwamba underscored that children today face complex challenges, including digital addiction, cyberbullying, and and professional approach from frontline service providers. She outlined 5 national priorities for strengthening child protection, that is, enhancing responsive systems, improving digital safety, integrating mental health services, promoting meaningful child participation in decision-making, and securing sustainable financing mechanisms. The minister also appealed to governments, civil society, and the private sector to collaborate more closely to ensure children not only receive protection, but also the emotional care they need to thrive. Highlighting the role of data-driven solutions and initiative partnerships, Ms. Mwamba said, expanding the reach and effectiveness of child helplines remains central to the National Child Protection Strategy. Held under the theme, A Global Voice for Mental Health, Violence Protection and Response, the Livingstone Gathering convened child helpline experts from over 60 countries to exchange strategies and deepen global cooperation in safeguarding children.
Our conviction that listening to our beloved children and acting on what they tell us is the cornerstone of any effective child protection system. Child helplines, therefore, continues to serve as a critical platform, and we must remain resilient in our efforts to expand its reach, responsiveness, and impact. Let us leave this conference with a renewed sense of urgency to end child marriage, eliminate harmful practices such as female genital mutilation, invest in our social services workforce, and embed children helplines firmly within national protection frameworks.
The Zambia Union for Persons Living with Disabilities has welcomed President Hakainde Hichilema's directive to halt the legislative process on Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 7 of 2025, describing it as a significant step towards fostering a more inclusive and participatory national dialogue. In an interview, ZUPD President Pasco Mlenga said the decision reflects responsive leadership and has heartened persons with disabilities. However, he stressed that true inclusivity requires deliberate efforts to involve people with disabilities at every stage of the process. Mr. Mlenga expressed concern that civil society organizations often sideline persons with disabilities, frequently selecting able-bodied individuals as representatives while overlooking the voices of those living with disabilities, particularly in undeserved communities such as Livingstone. He also criticized some church mother bodies and non-governmental organizations for excluding persons with disabilities from key advocacy events despite promoting messages of inclusivity. Mr. Mlenga reaffirmed the union's stance against previous constitutional amendment attempts, including Bills 10 and 7, citing lack of transparency and inadequate consultation. However, he said the union is open to supporting the current process provided it features genuine dialogue and the full participation of disability-focused organizations. Mr. Mlenga emphasized that the union's contribution extends beyond advocating for parliamentary representation to offering substantive input on specific constitutional provisions. Furthermore, Mr. Mlenga urged Minister of Justice, Princess Kasuni, and other stakeholders to ensure future drafts of the Constitution are made available in accessible formats and widely distributed, mostly in regions like Livingstone, where representation is often lacking. President Hichilema on Thursday directed Justice Minister Kasuni to suspend the legislative process on the Constitution Amendment Bill to allow for broader national consultation. The directive came a day after the bill was introduced in the National Assembly and referred to a selective committee. According to a statement from State House, the President's decision followed consultations with church mother bodies and more than 30 civil society organizations. We take a break, and when we return, we have sports news.
Warm your winter with a heated FIFA Club World Cup showdown on Top Star for just 210 kwacha on Antenna Classic OD Smart. Continue to witness pure football magic on Sunday, 22nd June, when Juventus clash with Wydad Casablanca at 18 hours and Real Madrid versus Pachuca at 21 hours. Also catch Atletico Madrid fight Botafogo on Monday, 23rd June at 21 hours, and Benfica takes on German champions Bayern on Tuesday, 24th June at 21 hours. Conclude the group stage with Matchday 3 action. Dortmund versus Ulsan Hyundai FC on Wednesday, 25th June at 21 hours, and Juventus versus Manchester City on Thursday, 26th June at 21 hours. Quickly, get your Topstar decoder now and catch every goal from the group stage to the final, all live on World Football. Topstar, enjoy digital life.
The Zambia Judo Nationals secured 3 bronze medals on day 1 of the 2025 African Judo Open Championships taking place in Pretoria, South Africa. Rising star Rita Kabinda laid the medal haul with a solid performance in the women's 63 kg category, defeating South Africa's Maubi Tegani to earn a bronze medal. Speaking in an interview after the stretch, Kabinda expressed pride after picking up the first medal in the women's 63 kg category, saying that she has picked positive that would help her in her career going forward.
My name is Rita Kabinda. I fight in the minus 63 kgs categories. I got a bronze medal in the minus 63 kg. I'm happy, I'm proud, like I've learned a lot from this. It's been my first time fighting in the minus 63 kgs at one international tournament.
In the men's division, Simon Zulu fought his way to the podium in the 66 kg category to win the second bronze for the country. He outlined his target for the tournament and argued that given another opportunity to fight in the same weight category, he would mint gold.
My positive idea of this competition is like we are not different from others. I know that I can make it. If I was given another opportunity to fight at the African Open or any other competition, I will end up first on the podium.
Stephen Mungandu added a third bronze for Zambia in the 73 kg category after a series of well-fought matches, and he expressed satisfaction for his performance.
I'm so happy to win this first bronze medal in 73 kg because I said it before that I will do my best, but I don't know the exact medal I'll get, but I'm so happy to achieve the bronze medal. My weight was 68 kg when I was fighting, so I was underweight, but through experience I managed to to get the bronze medal. Even in 73, I can do it.
Meanwhile, delegation leader Mr. Henry Fuller congratulated the athletes on their achievements and praised their discipline and dedication.
This is a very big achievement for Zambia Judo because all these guys are just from changing their weight categories. Stephen Mungandu is 66, now he has been increased into 73 kg. And Rita Kavinda, she is from just from 57 kg, now she is in 63 kg.
Thank you so much for joining us. But before we go, we take a look at the stories making headlines once again. Vice President Mtalena Lumango has reaffirmed that the government has no intention of delaying the funeral or burial of the late 60th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu and is working to ensure he is laid to rest with dignity in Zambia. The government of Zambia has emphasized the urgent need to address the country's growing demand for emotional and mental health support by fully integrating psychosocial services into national child protection frameworks. The Zambia Union for Persons with Disabilities has welcomed President Hakainde Hichilema's directive to halt the legislative process on Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 7 of 2025, describing it as a significant step towards fostering a more inclusive and participatory national dialogue. Bronze medals on day one of the 2025 African Judo Open Championships taking place in Pretoria, South Africa. On behalf of the news crew and production team, my name is Mwema Shanshima. Thank you for watching. God bless. Good afternoon.
.5 Sun FM.
Sun Sports TV.